What up, y'all? So today we're going to be talking about this test that I saw in this video by Veritasium today, and it's just basically like it's a little test that, like, well, first of all, they test your numeracy, which is basically like your literacy on numbers, like how well you know numbers, and then afterwards they give you this like little chart based, like this little data. I'll put it up on the screen. This little chart of data of like a fake not experiment. What is it called? Those group tests where they test like items on you before they release them to the public and stuff. And so what's it called? The test is like, does this cream like work? Yes or no? Or this, using cream or no cream, did it work? Yes or no? And basically, like, it's deceiving because the person, I mean, the chart on the top has more people tested versus the one on the bottom. So even though there's more numbers, the actual proportion is what you should be looking at, right? So they tested that with something not political, like cream, and basically people who are better at numbers obviously did better on the test, because that makes sense, right? But when they started to doing political stuff like gun control, which was the next test, people who were smarter, it had no effect on them if it was like how good they were at numbers had no effect on it, on whether they were right or not, because they were going based on their political beliefs. They were putting their actual intelligence aside and just looking at political beliefs. And I just think it's just like, that is like crazy. Like, you can't, like especially because they, somebody who's smarter, I mean, they're basing off numeracy, so it's not, they're not taking a whole IQ test or nothing, but like someone who's smarter, you would think they'd be more open-minded. Like, they would, look at things and not be super biased based on their beliefs. Like, if something is like, if their goal with gun control is to, minimize violence, like, wouldn't you want, like, to minimize violence, even if that's against, even if the solution is against your political beliefs, if the main goal is to decrease violence, and, how we get there shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like crazy how like these people are like, well, yeah, the data shows technically that that like the number is bigger over here, which would imply that the gun control is actually helping violence, or decreasing violence, I should say. But I don't want to believe that that's true, so they won't even look at the proportions anymore. They'll just look at the bigger number, whichever one helps their belief more. They'll just assume that one was right because they think their political ideology is already correct. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, oh, well, this one has a bigger number, I'm not even gonna worry about proportion because that's what I believe is actually going to help this cause, so it must be true. And they did this for both Republicans and liberals. So before you guys start whining about, well, whichever side, it doesn't matter. Before you guys start crying about it, like, they did both sides, and smart people on both sides of the spectrum did terrible, or they're not terrible, but their intelligence didn't help them, is what I should be saying. Like, their intelligence on numbers did not help. So it's like stupid because these people, like, people who are smart, I'm just being like redundant at this point, but they're like, they're not open-minded, and I just think that's like so weird. Like, you can't put your actual your main goal of helping the earth aside, or you can't put it first in front of your political beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like insane. So like, makes me think like these people really are just like followers. Like, they're not really like going for political sides, at least for the most part. Most people are not going for any political party because they genuinely believe that this is going to help their cause. It's just their beliefs. And the guy Veritasium, I don't even know what his name is, I just call him Veritasium. That's just a channel name, that's not his name. But the guy Veritasium, he starts explaining how the study that he found, that he's talking about in the video, actually they got further data, and it suggests that people are more afraid of being ostracized than actually being correct. It's like, you want to be part of a tribe, you want to be part of your group. You know what I mean? So is that the end of the match? What the hell? I'm only 4 minutes in, dude. The hell, man. anyways, like people are afraid to be ostracized from their group. You know what I mean? So it's like they want to be part of this group of people that they feel like they belong to, and for them to be like, um, for them to be like, going against those beliefs, and like people might think of them as like, well, you're not part of us. Like that's like they'd rather not do that, and I guess that's just like ingrained into our caveman brains. You know what I mean? Which is, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just kind of weird to thinking about like how humans develop into tribal instinct. Same thing with like religion, even like even though people don't like, a lot of scientists don't think that religion, like if the universe were to start over, like religion would not come back the same. I Religion will come back regardless. You know what I mean? Like it might not be the same religions, but religions, like humans are just known for rituals. That's like one of our things that makes us unique. And even monkeys, I mean not even monkeys. Well, I guess yeah, monkeys and chimpanzees also have rituals. Crows and elephants, they have funerals. Like it's like a thing that they do. Like building nests even is like a form of that. Like the like birds who build nests and shit. That's like a tradition that they uphold, and it's like it's not like a thing that animals don't do. Humans are just doing more advanced rituals in that aspect, and religion is one of those things that, oh wow, that would have been nice if they could actually deliver. But yeah, so it's kind of cool how like humans would put their intelligence aside. Or at least even the intelligent ones who claim to be open-minded, or even if they don't claim to be open-minded, the intelligent ones, like they'll put their intelligence aside to be loyal to their group. You know what I mean? So that gets you thinking, like how many of the intelligent people are on both sides of the spectrum, like actually actually being just, if that like being just with the information they're spreading, or if they're just trying to recruit people, or indoctrinate the people who they already have in their grasp, from the other side, like, or like to keep them away from the other side. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all these people, they see like a bunch of stuff on the internet and the news, and they believe a lot of the stuff that, while the stuff that their data that they're spewing might be true, like you gotta also take into account, okay, well, how do they gather the data? Who's gathering the data? Like it's got to be like a bipartisan party. It's got to be a third party. It can't be like a liberal organization gathering data, because it's like, that was a nice ass save. Sorry, I had to stop right there. But like, yeah, a bipartisan group, I mean a liberal group can't be gathering data on like whether you think the streets are safer or not with this Republican mayor. And it's like, of course, though those what's it called, Democratic group that gathering data is gonna, they're gonna look for people who think like them. You know what I mean? They're gonna start looking for in millennial coffee shops, or skate parks, or whatever. I don't know, but you got my point. Like you can't trust nobody. You know what I mean? Like it's 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 very sketchy out here. There's no trust. There's no like there's no way to know what you're actually consuming, even if like I said, even if the data might be true, like you also got to take it, like even if the data might be true, like you got to take into account the like what parameters were they accounting for, what parameters were they not accounting for, where those the data was recorded from, and then also like what time of year, like little stuff like that can affect whatever you're talking about. Because it's like, this is not a political stereotype, but let's say Republicans do not like going outside in the winter, and they only recorded in the summer. You know what I mean? Like they only recorded data in the summer. Like of course you're gonna get a large demographic of Democratic people to get your survey data for. You know what I mean? Like it's very a lot of things can be misleading, and they will be misleading if they are effective and help their cause. I think that's just how our monkey brains work. They're just we want to be tribal. We want to make more people into our tribe and keep people in our tribe. And so I just want to, remind you guys to be open. Oh shit, to be open minded whenever. No, okay, to be open minded whenever you guys are looking at data or just experiencing life. Just remember, guys, like remember the root of the problem that you're trying to fix. Try not to think about how you're gonna get that problem fixed. You know what I mean? As soon as you start, figuring out like what the root of the problem is, or not the root of the problem, because you don't have to know the root of the problem, but the actual problem you're trying to fix. You can put aside how you're gonna get there, and we can start working together as a country, because we're all on the same team. I don't know why the hell we're fighting all the time, and Donald Trump talking about like, we will not surrender. We're not gonna back down. Like, bro, we're on the same team. We're like, I don't know. All right, that's it.